Cancer in the 10th house. Shout out to all my Libra risings in the building. Let's get right into it. Now, over it, Cancer, cardinal water ruled by the moon. All right. Now, we know Cancer is in its opposite space here. All right. Cancer is a complete opposite element here. So it's getting a chance to experience its opposite axis, you can say, in this experience as a Libra rising. So we need to know where the moon is at. Most important thing in this whole video, we need to understand where the moon is at with that energy, with that planet. Moon not really even a planet, but with that body ruling, all right, over your 10th house. Okay, so the significance here with Cancer, this house is gonna, you know, a lot of your emotional highs and lows and your emotional temperament is gonna be affected by a lot of activity in the 10th house, because this house is naturally connected to your moon placement. All right. And we know wherever the moon is at, it's filtering our thoughts, emotions, it's receiving, it's attracting, it's trying to connect, it's building understanding. So regardless of the natural influences, that the natural energetic themes that are associated with Cancer that may be influenced in your career path, you know, whether it's maternal energies, family, social working environments, things dealing with psychology, things dealing with the subconscious with others, healing, teaching, environments where you're able to develop connections of various sorts. These natural Cancer themes can be things that these people naturally, Libra risings, fall into in career, but the house that the moon is in is the most important. If you guys can find the house that your moon is in and see how that house is correlated to your natural 10th house, aka your reputation, your natural social status, how people may perceive you in the world, the more you're able to pour into that, right? Being intentional, spiritually intentional about how you're pouring into that, aka how you're trying to be branded, how you're trying to develop business, build structure around themes of that house. That's how you get to the meats and potatoes of what you designed for yourself to build stability in this realm. All right. So, for example, you have the moon in the 6th house. You're going to have a natural understanding of regiment, order, structure. You may be naturally into things dealing with wellness, right? You may be really sensitive and conscious about how what you consume affects the body, affects your nervous system, affects your anxiety, affects your mental health. You guys may naturally be very studious about things dealing with wellness of all sorts, whether it's mental health, whether it's things dealing with the physical health, with the body, like I said, diet, nutrition. Things dealing with management may be very good with management. You know, the 6th house, not just management, finances, accounting, numbers, things of various sciences can be involved in the 6th house, because the 6th house deals with experimentation. You got to think about it. The 6th house deals with day-to-day routine. So we're dealing with repetitive working here. So anything dealing with experimentation can be thrown into the 6th house. So people with a lot of good 6th house placements or whatnot, a lot of 6th house activity, they can understand that things take process to build, tweak things, edit. This is Virgo's house. So you got to be able to, you know, tweak, edit, you know, let Mercury do its thing. So if you have the moon in this house, anything that you have a natural understanding, natural understanding of when it comes into 6th house themes, let that be seen in your 10th house. You may already be seen for these things. You may be already seen for the person in your block, in your neighborhood, in your school that's the vegan, you know, or whatnot, or whatever, or as a super advocate for mental health. You may not even know why you like that. You got the moon in the 6th house. Your whole life you trying to get your mental health together. So then you start advocating for motherfuckers like, fuck that, I'm gonna be the voice. I'm finna be the voice for us mental unstable motherfuckers. All right, so, but with all that being said, that's just an example, guys, all right? Because I know this 10th house series is emphasizing a lot about career. So we want to hear things about how we could get to the natural, you know, get to the natural influences we designed for, once again, that we designed for ourselves to access when we get down here to build stability, specifically speaking 10th house. So I know that's what we really want to hear in a lot of these 10th house videos. However, you know, you have to understand how you may already be seen for these energies, and you need to know where the ruler is at, guys. You need to know where the ruler is at, and all these things take time. All these things take time, all right? All right, where do we go? Cancer in the 10th house. Moon is the ruler. Emotional intent is needed in this house. Emotional intent is needed in this house. This is the house has a lot to do with the life path of the Libra rising. So we got a house that ain't got shit to do with emotion. Is business in the 10th house, right? House ruled by Capricorn and Saturn. All right, you're gonna run into some sharks in this house. You're gonna run into some demons, some devils in this house, aka people in the 10th house that are only invested in taking. There's no mutual building effort here. Motherfuckers want to take from you, want to use you. Saturn want to use you. Ain't that what's going on in the world? Ain't that part of the infrastructure of the world? Aren't we used? Isn't our time, 10th house Saturn time, borrowed to help build another motherfucker shit? So with all that being said, this is how we get to seeing how to build our shit in the most harmonious way. That's the whole thing. In the most harmonious way. The people we connected, when we're building in the 10th house, we're attracting people on our like-minded frequencies, and we're all helping each other build by participating with each other. Ain't no I use you, use your energy to stand the third, build some shit to stand the third. You feel me? Leave you hanging like that. We not moving like that over here. Like Libra ain't moving like that. So let's get all empowered to understand how we could build community in that type of way in our lives. So when we get to emotional intent being needed here, Libra rising, one of the most alluring, easy to gravitate towards, warm, optimistic personalities you can meet. Libra risings. All right? So when it gets into sometimes Libra risings, you guys, what can make a Libra rising feel real positive is just having harmonious flow with relationships in their life, right? And when we get to Cancer in the 10th house, Libra rising, business is business here. So you not only do you have to put your heart into career, you have Cancer, you have to put your heart into career. You have to be emotionally invested into something, or it's going to be hard to gain traction with things in the 10th house. I say that for you guys that's been here and heard me talk about rising signs, and you a Libra rising, you've seen previous Libra rising videos, you done heard that a million times from me, right? Libra rising got to put their heart chakra into career. Have to be emotionally invested into something in career. It's cardinal water. You got to be able to create through your waters, through your emotional intent, through something that you feel heavy on, right? And because it's Cancer, it's going to be almost easier for what you feel heavy on to connect to others, because Cancer is going to connect. So you bring a sense of understanding for others in your 10th house. You may be seen as somebody that brings a harmonious understanding, strong connected type of influence to environments that you participate in, whether you played on teams in your life, extracurricular activities that dealt with teamwork, or whatever type of environment in. Just having Cancer in the 10th house, that may be part of your aura here a little bit. But with all that being said, this house is about business, Libra rising. So it can't be too friendly in this house all the time. You can't be too floaty in this house. You're gonna be dealing with you deal with high levels of there's a high emotional temperament in your career path. Not you, it may not be you, excuse me guys, it may not be you, but it may be the environments you're in. They're either a little emotionally chaotic co-workers, bosses, advisors, higher ups, or what it may be, okay? So you have to navigate this area with not being consumed in the emotions of others, and not allowing how you feel about situations to distract you from making practical decisions, realistic decisions in this area. So that's a hard balance to find here. And that's what you're doing for the majority of your life, because you're a Libra rising, so you got opposite signs in different houses. So you run into areas in each area of your life. You're learning how to do something the opposite way effectively. In the first house, you're learning how to build personal aspirations through how you're able to naturally connect with people. That's hard to do at times. Investing in your personal self while harmoniously flowing with other people at the same time. Libra in the first house. Then you got Scorpio in the second house. You got to learn how to build a value system through things that are very deep, hard to connect with others at times, hard to relate to others at times, hard to be understood by others at times. Very individual value system being developed through your career path. Then you got Sagittarius in the third house. Are you ever in your third house, Sagittarius here? Because you done went to boarding school, you done moved all over the place. You done live with your aunties and uncles. You done live with your cousins. You done got kicked out, live with your friends. You done studied abroad. So your third house is the world. Sagittarius in the third house. So you're learning how to build familiarity in your close surroundings while being everywhere. So you're learning how to be effective in each area of life while utilizing the opposite energy. That's why you guys are able to gain so much wisdom. You guys can be some of the most wisest people before your first Saturn return. I've been working with the ops my whole life. Now, so with Cancer in that 10th house, being able to decipher how you feel about a situation with what needs to be done, what decision you may need to make for yourself in the 10th house. Libra Rising life pather. Okay? So, this house challenges the Libra Rising personality. That's part of the square from the 1st to the 10th house, because you got the Libra Rising personality, real cooperative, relatable, right? But let's see how them communication skills, those natural abilities to pick up social cues and all of that, let's see how you're able to utilize those things when you get into the 10th house, and it's cardinal water. People feel the way they feel. People have their own emotional intention in career when you're in that space. People projecting their emotions on you in general. And you get that from the 7th house too. You get that shit from Aries in the 7th too. So you catch aggressive relationships in the life path of a Libra rising from the 7th and the 10th at times, for real. So there's times where, this Libra rising, happy-go-lucky, people's personality has to have discernment with how you navigate certain relationships in these areas. But we're talking about the 10th house specifically, right? So very important there. Be careful of the emotional projections. It's such an extreme. Because you got Cancer here. Cancer's the receiver. Cancer's the receiver, right? How many of y'all got Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising friends, this and the third, and they don't like to be in certain environments or around certain people because they receive too heavy. They know they can't block that off, so they can only prevent themselves from being in certain environments. So when you got Cancer in the 10th house, and we know this house is tied to your moon placement, we know this house, the highs and lows that you experience with how you're seen in the world, how you're broadcast in the world, how you're branded into the world, how your business is being navigated, how your forms of stability is. These have a huge tie to your moon placement. I can relate. I'm a Cap moon. So with all that being said, you have to understand that this is not a place where it comes down to about how you feel at all the time, and that's a hard balance to find. It's a hard balance to find, but there's a lot of fulfillment in this area when you're able to make decisions standing on what you want to build here. It's a lot of fulfillment here, all right? It's a lot of fulfillment here. A lot of you guys are proud people, when it comes into things that you are able to accomplish and being seen for in the 10th house. It brings a different type of warm feeling when you get a part of who you truly are to represent yourself in the world. The moon, who you really are, your true you, your inside, right? And a lot of times that's what you guys end up doing in career. But I actually drifted off from a point I was making a little bit. But when I was saying you guys are the receiver, because you have Cancer here and it's tied to your moon placement, there's going to be times in career or navigating your career path where you have to learn how to be in that receiver position. You have to learn to change your environment by being able to soak it up a little bit. So this is why a lot of you guys have coworkers. It could be coworkers on the same status as you, higher ups, whatever it is, right? And these people may open up to you about a lot of things in their personal life. You may feel like you're able to connect with a lot of people in general in the world as part of your personality. Once again, your personality is very relatable. So it's important to understand where you don't have to be in a push out state, because you may be in an environment where opportunities can land on your lap because you're in a position to receive. You're in a position to be understanding for others. You're in a position to make better connections in your environment. That can land a lot of opportunities in various work environments you're in. You somewhere temporary, this, that, and the third, and you end up getting opportunities offered to you because of this type of energy that you're able to sustain in career, right? As soon as you come, there's a little sense of tranquility, stability that's added into the environment. So it's kind of like how you need to utilize the Libra personality here to help Cancer's emotional intention for what they're trying to build and stabilize in career. That's what the Libra personality gets challenged to make sure they can, okay, these motherfuckers over here is hostile. I got to deal with them like that. All right. These motherfuckers are relatable. I could be a little bit open to them. We can have more logical, effective communication about what needs to be changed in the environment, this, and the third. And these traits are going to be seen from you because it's your 10th house. So your ability to stabilize. Cancer is a stabilizer. All right. So but this is the wave that you got to ride here. This is the wave you got to ride here. All right. So emotional work environments, you bring understanding to the workplace, people open up to you. All right, the Libra personality, a real motherly, maternal energy. Now, speaking of the motherly energy, that's the same thing as me saying the receiver shit, right? So once again, if you got a lot of cardinal placements, you do have to be aware of what I was talking about, of not always trying to be in a push out state when it comes to career, but being able to read the room. Don't be in so much, it's Cancer. You can't be so lost in how you can't be so lost on, it is the 10th house. So you have to have strong emotional intent here, but you can't get lost in being able to understand the other party that you're connecting to, right? Like you gotta channel, read your comments, understand, what your client or the receiver on the other end from what you're pushing out is getting you to understand. You gotta have that kind of bounce back here. Can't get too stuck in your vision of things, especially if you're trying to, push something off to the public here. So it could be hard to see that at times when you got a lot of cardinal placements, right? You gotta, I don't know, just YouTube is easy to make examples of. You got a YouTube channel, you was doing pranks or something, this, that, and the third, and it's getting a little tiring, or your fans want to see a certain person you brought on your channel before, they want to see more of that person, this, that, and the third, and you're neglecting that. So it's like you're so much in push out energy that you have Cancer. You're able to receive the next directions easily. You're so connected to your to the people that may be paying attention to you, this, that, and the third, right? Your audience, whatever you want to call it, right? But your viewers or whoever's seeing your brand, business, or whatever you're building on this social status that you're cultivating in your life, you can't be not being able to read them, right? And there's somebody that has a lot of cardinal placements. So sometimes you could just be in birth mode, create, birth mode, push out. You gotta stop to read the room a little bit, all right? Now, so that's that. So, but speaking of maternal energies, motherly energies, let's move on to some 4th house influences a little bit with this energy, because we know 4th house opposite to the 10th. So we know family, home environment, our upbringing, right, has can build natural resistance with what we're striving to be seen for in the house. In the world. So, we got Capricorn in the 4th. So, with Capricorn here, the family home environment could be a real a tough love type of feel in the home environment, right? So you can't let the structure of your 4th house, deflect you from where you're trying to put your heart at in the 10th house. Because you'll come to somebody in your 10th house, you come to your pops, your mom, your guardian, whoever, raised you, whatnot. Cause I know Cap in the 4th house be type, well, I'm a Cap moon, so sometimes our 4th houses ain't as stable as you. We be having sometimes we the parent, we're the oldest sibling, sometimes it just be a lot going on when you got Capricorn in the 4th house, Capricorn moon placements, debilitated moon placements. It affects the parenting and the home environment, connection to the parents. So, it could be a lot of responsibility, priorities at a young age for the Libra Rising and whatnot, them taking care of their parents for the Libra Rising. So when you get to Capricorn in the 4th house, you could come all excited and whatnot with something with an aspiration for the 10th house. Yo, mom, I'm about to, I decided I'm not going to go to college. I'm about to go start this business, and I got this opportunity, and these people that are successful seen my talent, and they said, I should go for it. And, I'm just real excited. So I got this job. I'm going to use the money from my job to help, You pay the bills and support my dreams and So you trying to put your heart in career, trying to put your heart in the 10th house, you trying to connect it to the 4th house. Your mom gonna look at you just like this, like, so that's what you doing? Okay. No, that's real exciting. Just like that. No, that's real exciting. What is you talking about? So Libra Rising, as a Libra stellium, you know how we be feeling hurt when we be trying to relate some shit and that shit not received. You know how we be hurt. We know how we be hurt. You can't let that get the best of you when you striving for your 10th house aspirations. Like, don't just because your pops, your mom, your auntie, your uncle, your grandparents, your siblings, your children, whoever it is that don't believe in your 10th house shit, you got to eat that. Like, all right, okay. I know y'all probably got some real shit going on in y'all lives too. Like, don't even take that shit too personal. You know you deal with a level of detachment with a Saturn rule 4th house. You know you deal with a level of tough love, that good old practical love, right? Your mom probably tell you shit like, okay, well, make sure you do this, that, and the third, and make sure you serious about your shit. I don't want to hear about you chasing dreams, and then 2 weeks or a month from now, you doing some other shit, all right? Go ahead and do what the fuck you got to do, and make sure you is bringing in some money, because if you ain't going to college, make sure you is helping around building some shit around here. You know you got Capricorn in the 4th house, so you always going to have to help me build here, even when your ass ain't living here, all right? Don't forget that. So that's... I got to make everything so hood, so ghetto. It's the hood guru. You already know what it is, but that's how I beat Capricorn 4th house, all right? So accept that tough love for what it is. Don't be getting all down like, my family don't support me. They don't see my vision. They don't care about what I care about. Yeah, because they got what they got going on. Okay? So that's the reality. Key word. Capricorn, Saturn, 4th house, reality. And then when we get into the 7th house, you got Aries here. So you bump into so much single-minded individual motherfuckers in your life so much. You know, you got to be wise about dealing with rejection relating. Now I think about it, y'all got to, shit. Libra Rising, y'all is gonna get rejected. I mean, who's not? Who's not gonna deal with some level of, nothing always comes so smoothly when you're starting things. But just going through the path of Libra Rising again in my head, I'm just seeing how like y'all learn how to get rejected. Y'all learn how to get curved. Cause you gotta think about it. You got Libra in the 1st house, so your personality is to relate. But to get you to relate to yourself, that'd be a problem at times. So these areas be having to use these type of characteristics for that to happen. Capricorn in the 4th house has to be detached, has to be a little practical with you for you to feel the resistance at times from being related to. That one don't hurt as much because your Libra Rising is logical, is air, so they could take the practical tough love better. But when it's like that Aries rejection in the 7th house, like, so they so individual, they into their own shit, they probably don't even like, oh, that's cool, blah, 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 like, you feel me? Or it's like, or it probably got hater energy to it or whatever. And then you got Cancer in the 10th house. So a lot of people that you deal with competitive energies in your career space by default from like some of the friction coming from the 7th and 10th. So you deal with a lot of competition too. And you got to use that competition to push you. Because there's so much potential to be connected to connect to others. So you got to stick to the things that help build the soul family here, that help build your soul tribe for everything that you're building career, for all the understanding, healing, connecting, support, relatability, right? These are a lot of things that no matter what you guys do, music, film, you're an author, you're the real estate, whatever you do, you guys can have a lot of these attributes with you guys naturally radiating with how you're seen in the world. So that competitiveness, that hater energy, that rejection energy, all these things have to be fueled in your life path in order to help you hit these 10th house milestones, because that's what we're dealing with in the 10th house, right? Milestones, accomplishments, recognition, notoriety. So that's what we got going on with that, energetic themes. So just to make sure we have some awareness going on with how the squares play a factor here. Now, career and your social influence can bring emotional highs and lows. Yep, Libra Rising people skills are challenged here, dealing with aggressive or forceful people, right? What we just spoke about. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. this is too important. And this kind of reflects back to the theme of putting your heart in career, having emotional intent, because the 10th house ain't a house. Libra Risings. You got the sign that wants to be comfy in the house that is not the attitude to have, and that attitude will never get you anywhere. So Libra Risings, you having this is why it's so important to let the competitive energies and the rejection energies in your life fuel you and motivate you and push you and help you to expand and grow. Because Cancer in the 10th house, sometimes you could feel like you could be in too much of an extreme receiver energy, feel like people have to relate to what you're pushing in career, feel like people have to support, people feel like no we don't, show your value, help, service, connect, teach, bring understanding, bring your duties to the world and extract the value from that and how it may come. You can't have that lazy type of approach to how things should be built in the 10th house. There need to be some blood, sweat, and tears here. The heart needs to go through different emotions and experiences here. So when you got, that theme of getting uncomfortable, getting comfortable being uncomfortable, the more you do things in a more disciplined manner that you don't want to do, but it's needed to help you learn through your career experiences, life path, grow and expand. It's going to be that attitude. You're going to have to adapt that mentality a lot of times in your life. A lot of times. Especially because Libra Rising, and this, like, I feel like I can drag y'all a little bit more because I'm a Libra. So because Libra Risings, sometimes you guys can be content with your ability to be relatable or be known a bit and not push your maximum potential from that perspective, So you can't get too content with first house shit like that. People knowing that you're good, this, that, and the third. No, let's create something that has some real feel to it in the 10th house. That got some form of legacy to it. Shit, we're dealing with family energies. Shit. And y'all leave a comment, let me know. Throw some moons in the comments, y'all. Y'all leave a comment and let me know if your pops or your mom, it was an influence in what you was aspired or motivated to do and give birth to in your 10th house of be seen for a career. I'd love to hear some more examples from y'all if y'all have any of those. But I want to see some moons. Let me see some moons up in there. If I know that if you building, manifesting, you're moving, you're navigating, you're connecting, you're relating up in that 10th house, throw some moons up in the comments real quick. All right, y'all? Especially just coming off this new moon in Cancer energy. So, yeah, business is business. And we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable in the 10th house at times, Libra Risings. Like, that's just what it is, Cancer deal with that strong care energy. The more you care about what you're doing in the 10th house, the world gonna care. Cancer energy is that powerful, all right? Now, learn to receive instead of pushing out, especially with a lot of cardinal placements. Yep. All right. Yeah, that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. Okay. Shout out to my Libra Risings. Man, y'all so elegant, smooth. Okay. And you got to use all of that in that 10th house. Use all of that shit. Don't let none of that Venus shit go to waste. All right? Shit. If motherfuckers gonna be smiling in your face every day, make that shit account for something. Brand that motherfucker smile. Okay, once again, guys, most important thing, know where that moon is at. You're looking for more direction, more clarity for what you feel like you're supposed to be pouring into when it comes into career energies in your life. And when it comes into, following trying to find your intuition when it comes into what you believe you're supposed to be projecting into the world. Understand the house that the moon is in. The house that the moon is in, you naturally understand the house. That house is you. The house that the moon is in, you don't need examples. You don't need to ever feel like you got to be seen for that. That is who you are. So you finding outlets or realizing different things about how you're already seen that contains attributes and themes of that house. Eventually, man, there's some expansion waiting for you guys. All right. So you already know what it is. Like, share, subscribe. It's the Lucky Libra in the building. Tap into my Patreon if you want to dive deeper. Tap into my website if you want to connect with the Lucky Libra. Until next time, family. Peace.